A bit of boxing royalty this week on VIP TV. Fantastic trainer, good all-round fella. I've been lucky enough to know for about 7 or a bit longer than that, about 9-10 years, I think it is. It's Peter Fury. Peter, thanks for joining us on VIP TV today.
The pleasure, Steve. And yeah, you're right. It's going back quite a way. And we've always had good conversations and stuff, and it's been a pleasure to know you. May you continue for another 20.
Yeah, I'm lucky to know you. We're lucky to know a lot of people in this boxing game. Some I'm not so lucky to know, but luckily most people I'm lucky to know. But
well, I can share your views there.
It's good of you to give me some time today. I just want to talk about your fighters. You've got a busy weekend in Newcastle coming up. Your son fights against Christian Heyman, and of course Savannah Marshall against Lolita Musea, WBO super middleweight title defense. Huge fight for her, especially with Claressa Shields looming. But first of all, before we talk about the fights, what was behind the thinking of Hughie and Savannah staying with Sky? Because you've been boxing on Eddie's cards, and I'm guessing you could easily have jumped over to the zone with them, but you're staying with Sky. What was the reason behind that?
I think it's like I've always said, it's nothing personal, but Sky are prioritising Huey and Savannah, and Matchroom wasn't, because they got so many fighters. Yeah. It's like how can I explain it? It's like having a tailor-made suit and buying one off the peg. So we went for Sky, because they're tailor-made to what we need, to our requirements. So it was that's all it was. It was somebody that was prepared to put full commitment into Huey and Savannah, and that's what we need. So and hence the move.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about Huey first. I mean, it's hard to believe that he's only 27, isn't it? He's still a very young man. I think people don't think of that when they talk about it, and that he is that young still, because you turned him over very young.
Well, exactly. He turned over at 18 years of age, Steve. And the thing is, he's 27 and he's had 28 pro fights, and he's been in with a lot of people and on the world scene. He's come up short because he hasn't done enough and stuff like this. But I'm happy with him. I'm happy with everything he's done, because we're looking at a young man here that's come through everything in boxing. He's come through bad cuts. He's took some good fights. He's had raw decisions. So he's there, and he's done all this as a young kid coming through. Don't forget, we're not talking of a 27-year-old middleweight or something like this. We're talking of a young heavyweight doing all this. He fought for the world title, I think, at 22. So he's done a lot. But he's only just turning into his own right now. So now it's a different fella, and I'm looking forward, as well as the fans, to seeing a different Huey, which they're going to see. They've seen a different Huey when he fought Marius Wack compared to his previous fights. But still, I'm looking at another 50% improvement from that, which he's capable of doing. So now it's a lot better for him. He fits into the world scene better. He's a mature man. He's got his man strength and everything else. So it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. But Huey's only just arrived, and expect some good things from him.
Yeah, and also I think you've got to forget, I think it was when Mick was promoting him, who's still involved in him. She still worked very closely with Mick, and he's a few fights ago, did he have a little bit with Frank Warren? He also had that skin complaint, which was really affecting his career, didn't he?
Oh, he did. He had that very severe acne that was poisoning his blood, and that affected him for about 3 years or something. He was very flat all the time, tired, being sick, training while being ill. And this is the problem. I think Huey's trained probably at least 5 or 6 years of his fights not well, because when we got over that skin condition he had, then he had he's got very bad intolerances to dairy, so he's had that, which we didn't pick up on, until we got him properly tested. And but like I said, all them niggles are out the way, and he's done well, but he's had it hard. He's had it hard physically, mentally, at a young age, because this is the type of things he's had to fight through. But now He's A1, keeps away from dairy. He's got no skin complaints. It's a young man's complaint anyway. So he's grown out of all them things. So, so he's it's all systems go. There's no excuses. There's not being too young. There's nothing. I just say things as it is. So he is where he is, and I'm looking forward to a good display of boxing from him.
Yeah, and it's a good fight, this good test for him, Christian Hamer. I think he was in the corner when Tyson Fury fought Christian, and since then, I think Christian's only losses were Povetkin, Luis Ortiz, and Tony Yoka. So, you're going up. I don't know how you describe Christian Hamer now. You are going up against one of the high-end gatekeepers, if you like, of the division.
Yeah, absolutely. He's another Marius Wax, similar kind of person. Marius Wax was probably more dangerous because he's a big man. Guy's 6'9" or 7 foot nearly, and 19, 20 stone. And he comes forward, he takes your shots to land his own, and they're always going to be a difficult night's work. But like I say, Hammer's a better boxer. Obviously, he brings stuff to the table, like you said. He's a good gatekeeper. He gave Luis Ortiz all the trouble he could handle.
That's right. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. But these are the type of fights we need for Huey. We don't need him to get in there, bowl some heavyweight over with a fat over his shorts that's 40 plus, and then get a load of credit saying he's arrived and he's a knockout artist and all of this. I'd rather him fight somebody quality where he can open up his skills. Because look, we're training in world level camps. He's got the best of sparring and everything else. Why do we want to waste that on a pushover? We want somebody who can fight back, where we can see just how much he's come on and see. You need to be in good fights, not somebody where as soon as they get it, they're going to fall on the floor and take the payday and do a runner. We haven't got that in Christian Hamer. Christian Hamer comes to fight, he comes to win. So it's a good fight, and it's a serious fight, and I'm looking forward to it, Steve.
And he'll want to impress Sky. As you say, they're putting the time and money into him by bringing over a decent opponent. He wants a big performance so he can show, he can become their next heavyweight star.
Well, exactly. And Hammer's very experienced now. He's had 30 plus fights. He's still only 32 or 3 years of age himself. It's good. And you're right about Sky. So Huey, it's the right time anyway. And Huey will not disappoint.
And on to your female fighter, Savannah Marshall. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend I know anything about Lolita Mazia, the Zambian lady who's coming over to face her this weekend. But, she's always relaxed, Savannah. But does she feel any pressure being that Claressa Shields is so close that fight now? She's with the same promoter. There's nothing to stop that fight happening. What sort of pressure is there on her to deliver this weekend?
Well, I don't think there's any. She takes every fight as it comes. You're only as good as your last fight. And she needs to take this opponent very, very seriously. We don't know much about her. She's unknown quantity. She's unbeaten. We haven't seen hardly anything of her. So it's one of them. But I'm confident Savannah's got many tools in her box, and she'll work her out very quickly, I'd imagine.
What's she like to train? Because I see interviews, and she's quite a straight bat. I don't think there's someone, unless you were around her like you are, in the camp all the time. I think a lot of people would find it difficult to get to know her as such, because is she introverted?
She's quite a nice person, but she knows what she's got to do. And I think with Savannah, she cuts out all the rubbish. She knows who's in her interest and whatever. She just listens to what I say. She practices it with good intentions. She's a dedicated athlete, and she's there to do a job. So she's 110% committed. She's got her head screwed on the right way as well. She's quietly, she's planned out a future. She knows what she wants to do, where she wants to go and stuff. And, and I'm here just to assist and make sure she's ready and able physically and mentally to achieve them goals, Steve.
I can imagine you get on, because I don't know Savannah that well. I've had a few conversations, but I don't think I can see why she relates with you. So I don't think she'd suffer, idiots, shall we say.
No, definitely not. And she definitely like me in that regard. have to tell you, my patience gets very thin. I've got no time to listen to fools at all. But no, I think with Savannah, I'm very busy as well. I've got work outside of boxing and stuff. She's always, she's not somebody that picks a phone up every 5 minutes. We don't need to do that. It's not that kind of a relationship. She comes in the gym and, I cannot see her for a day, 2 days, 3 days or whatever. And she comes in the gym and we set off exactly where we started. We know what we've got to do. I'm in her interest. She knows that 1,000,000%, and I am. And the thing is, it's all about getting that win and getting closer and closer to the big fights.
Yeah, I haven't caught up with you for a while, Peter. Is it just the two fighters you've got at the moment, or is there anybody else? I know even, where, back in the day when it was just Tyson and Huey, you always spoke of never having more than a handful of fighters because of, as you say, you're a busy man, you've got a family at home, you like sitting at home and relaxing as well.
Yeah, I like being at home with the family and stuff. So I don't know, Steve. I've got one, I suppose really I've got Savannah and Huey, but I've got a couple of beginners as well that I'm helping out. So I'm helping them and I'll see what they do. So I'm happy to help one or two out. It's not for any monetary things or anything like that. Yeah. It's something where, they're nice young fellas and I'm trying to get them on. I'm trying to help them along the journey. So if I can assist in getting them a start and getting them along the way, it's good. It's good for my mental state, and it's very good for them as well. So no, I like helping people when I can.
Yeah, do you see yourself?
I'm not after big.
No, I know that. I'm not. I wouldn't say that for a start. I know that. Yeah. Do you see yourself hanging around in training for another 15, 20 years, or have you got other things you want to do in life?
I can't see it. I'd like to kick it up and probably go on. I've been walking around London quite a bit. There's like schools of music there and all of that. I'd like to go and learn something like that because I used to play the saxophone years ago.
Really?
Actually. Yeah, I'd like to go and learn stuff like that and just and be finished with it. But I'll always probably keep an eye on boxing and stuff like that. But as far as training and getting fighters ready, do I really want to keep doing it? I'll keep doing it as long as people need me, I think. As long as my son needs me, I'll always be there for me, lad. And as long as Savannah needs me, I'll be there for her. And that's just how it is. But I think for me, as trying to achieve things and all of that, I'm not really, it's not there.
Did you find boxing's changed a lot, all round over the last decade at all? The people coming into it and, different trainers, different managers, different everything having a go. Do you find, that it's changed for the better, or do you think, not?
It's hard to say. There's a lot of, I call it cringe TV. There's a lot of like stuff going on, which is like, it's all like internet stuff really.
Yeah.
Rather than dedicated fighters, it's I'm sure the real fighters and the real trainers out there know how hard it is. I know how hard it is. So somebody to just start spouting their mouth off on social medias and stuff like that, and it's not reality. Against serious professional fighters, you get brain damage. It's just a lot of it. It seems today, the louder you shout and the more you talk nonsense, the better it is, to a lot of mainstream media and the young population out there. But for me, looking at it, and I'm quite a serious person, not serious as any threat or anything. I'm just serious in my views. I'm serious. I like to speak to serious people, what don't talk a load of shit, basically. I'm a real person, so I expect real back. And that's what I don't see today. You don't get much of that. A lot of it today is smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, and as you say, it's the real world.
Everybody's chatting. Yeah, everybody's chatting on social media, doing whatever they're doing because they've got a motive at the back of it, rather than just be yourself and getting on with it.
Yeah, and you talk about the real world. The real world is, as you say, your son fighting Christian Hamer next week, where he wants to look good for Sky TV who are behind him. And of course, Savannah, who's trying to keep wants to keep alive the biggest women's fight ever against Claressa Shields.
100%. But, for me, it's not pressure for me because, you know, this is what we're here to do. You know, we're in it, and I don't feel that pressure because that's why we work so hard in the gym to get everything right. So you can only do your best, and the rest is up. It's in the hands of the blessed Lord. So, you know, get in there, do your best, peel away all this bullshit about the crowd, peel away all this bullshit about, oh, if I don't get past this, what am I going to do for the next fight? I need to impress. Peel all that off, get in there and do what you're going to do. Do what you're trained to do, and that's it. And it's like me, isn't it? Going in the corner, you know, and doing something because somebody's listening. I'm looking at the fight and I'm giving my fighter instructions what he needs to do in the next round. So that's all need to be really get the job done. That's the thing. Main thing is getting the W. And if they do right and they take away all them pressures off, they'll look good doing it.
I tell you what, I really want Hughie to win, but I think I want Savannah to win so much because her and Clarissa Shields, that'd be brilliant. Yeah. Even the build-up, you know, Savannah all straight-faced, Shields coming into England or wherever the fight's going to be, shouting and hollering, and, you know, Shields would be just, will mentally will just want to beat her because she's proud, and of course, the last person she lost to was Savannah. That's a fight that just fills me with excitement, and the build-up too, because it won't be, you know, one of these bullshit build-ups. What be said there will be meant by them both as well.
Yeah, it will. There's no love lost there, and Savannah's not really speaking to Savannah. She's not under. I tell you what the problem is. She can't get under Savannah's skin. That's the problem.
Yeah. That's what we were.
Yeah, because Savannah's not. No matter what she does, she'll not get under Savannah's skin. That's a fact. You know, Savannah just looks at her as, you know, she just sees her as something else, which it's not for me to comment on what she's doing, you know. But she just thinks she's 100% confident she'll do a job on her. She thinks she'll stop her as well. You know, she wants to outbox her, outfight her, and everything else. So, and she's capable. We haven't even scratched the surface with Savannah yet. I'm very looking forward to the journey with her. So I'm excited, and I don't really see Savannah on her A game. I don't see many people standing up with her, to be honest. Looks can be deceiving. What you see outside the ring and what you see when you stood in front of her is a different ball game.
Peter, it's been an absolute pleasure catching up with you for 20 minutes. You're someone I could talk to all day long. You're a top man.
And you, Steve. It's a pleasure. Always good to speak to you.
You just enjoy fight week, and I hope all goes well for you this weekend.
Thank you, Steve. It's been a pleasure as always.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.